Yeah, no, that's the thing with narratives. There's one way to change them, and so yeah, my expectation would be, those who, the naysayers will, you prove them right, they'll be louder. So that's part of the territory. You carry that until you do something about it, and unfortunately we didn't tonight.
20 missed tackles from this defense tonight. I think the stat is it led to 132 additional yards. What went wrong on that side of the ball?
Well, I think that's, I'll have to have a calculated answer for that. I'll have to refer to the tape from my eyewitness accounts. There's it's an accumulation. Partial is that you got to give the Packers credit. That's kind of their game. They put guys in space and force you to tackle them, and that's part the missed tackle player, part pursuit, collective defense against talented space players. Is you need to stop the ball or force a guy to redirect, and then you have to have a teammate come to your aid. So generally, from what I saw, it was a collection of things. I think that there was some positive parts to how they played, but I know there's going to be some frustrated individuals when they watch the tape because of that.
How much of it can be attributed to cold weather and it being harder to play because the last one's
I think the weather and the cold. I didn't really see that as much of a factor as it was playing football and technique and fundamentals of bringing our feet collectively and getting our hips into tackles and wrapping up. I think the biggest thing is that on a Thursday night game in a short week, you have to be clean, and we weren't. And they were a lot cleaner in terms of penalties, in terms of just our style of play, how complimentary we were specifically in the last game. We were not that tonight, and I thought we they made us pay. For instance, first drive, you're 3 and out to get the ball back, and that special teams turnover equaled 7 points. A turnover on downs on the 1 yard line equaled 7 points. That's 14 points in a 13-point game.
All right, so clean, not cold, because the cold never bothered him anyway. Does seem to bother Tua, or at least the numbers suggest so. Losing and failing to cover in almost all. When those temps get below 40, Tua has a way of going away. The numbers, decent in this one, but the only one that matters, the scoreboard, still in favor of the Pack.